Здравствуйте! Меня зовут Мухаммед Saad. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Hello and welcome to our Russian class. We have learned with you the first 12 letters in Russian alphabet. And today we shall continue study of Russian alphabet. But before we just proceed with a new group of letters, and before we go any further, we need to just go back and review the all 12 letters that we have learned with you. Let's take a look at this. A, Y, K, M, O, T. A, Y, K, M, O, T. These letters of group, it's composed to those letters that Russian alphabet and English alphabet share together. So it looks the same and it gives you the same sound as the English alphabet. A, Y, K, M, O, T. This is the easiest group. Now let's take a look at the second group that we already learned with you. S, R, I, N, V, P. Let's do it one more time. S, R, I, N, V, P. Хорошо. Очень хорошо. And this group maybe looks like the English alphabet, but it represents different sound in the English. Хорошо. And also we have learned with you some Russian words. Do you know the first word that any Russian child says? Mama. And Russian called their capital Moskva. And Russian are big lover of sport. And if you are very hungry, you need to go to a restaurant. And you need to just take a ride to go to a restaurant and buy taxi или metro. And Russian people enjoying drinking cacao. And so many families have this little animal. Kot. Now let's practice reading. We will take a look at those words on our screen and I will give you a second to read them. Кино, кинотеатр, ресторан. Let's do it one more time. Кино, кинотеатр, ресторан. Хорошо, очень хорошо, very good. So let's look at the three more words. Please go ahead and read this word out loud in your classroom. Yes, first word is Moskva. Moskva. Sport. Stop. Moskva. Sport. Stop. Очень хорошо. And now time to pick up your pen, pencil and paper and we're going to practice writing this word. And you remember how important it is to keep working and keep practicing writing this word and letter in cursive format. It is really needy. It will help you to learn to just go farther with this language. I do believe that Russian language, you cannot learn it without using your handwriting. So let's begin with the Russian capital. Moskva. Moskva. And please don't forget to start this word with a capital letter M. Moskva. And the Russian word for movie. Kino. Kino. And if we would like to see a good kino, we go to a kino theater. Kinotheater. And when we are hungry, we go to restaurant. Restaurant. And Russian people really enjoy sport. Sport. And what is the best way to get the sport events? Metro. Metro. Or you maybe prefer to go to by. Taxi. Taxi. And now I want you to take a look at this picture and I want you to identify what you see in Russian. Well, do you know the name of Russian capital? It is Moskva. Moskva. And what is this? Metro. Metro. By the way, Moscow Metro is really very interesting way traveling and very beautiful place to be when you are visiting in the city. Take a ride in Moskovskaya Metro. And now we need to take a look at more of Russian alphabet. We didn't finish it yet. So let's look at our new Russian group. New letter Russian group. Let's take a look at that. Z. Z. This is not number 3 in English. This is Russian letter Z. Z. E. E. They call this I краткая. E. Или E. E. I prefer to do it E. L. L. It gives a sound of L. L. And this one, it is not Y. It's not English letter Y. It is U. U. Look at my mouse. U. U. And this nice one, D. 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 It gives a sound of D. D. Let's do it one more time for you. Z. E. L. U. D. And we will concentrate our attention on 2 of them right now. Let's start with letter D. 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 That's how it looks. D. The sound it gives us. D. D. And what is this? It is Russian letter U. 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 It is not English letter Y. Please don't get confused with English alphabet. Just keep them separate. Just try to put your mind, to put your all effort in Russian. U. U. Whenever you see letter O in the word, in any Russian word, please know that it represents sound U. U. So let's take a look at some word with this letter and we will try to read them. So let's look at those 2 words. Do they look familiar? Yes. 1 or 2 of the most popular Russian words ever. Да. Нет. Да. Нет. Yes. And no. No. Да. Yes. It means yes. Да means yes. Нет. 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 Да. Нет. Да. Нет. So let's look at our new word. Дом. Дом. Dom. Even it's big or small, flat, on the big building, it's called dom. So dom, maybe it's just small flat or a big building. By the way, also dom means a home. Now in the English language we have the word domestic. And now you can immediately just identify the relationship between two words. Domestic, dom. Domestic, dom. Dom. So let's take a look at this one. Вода. 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 A water. Вода. Вода. So, вода. Это моя вода. It is my water. So let's take a look at this one. I think it does not exist anymore. Will not play with this one, unfortunately. This one is radio. 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 A radio. Now, let's take a look to our new words on one page. Please try to read them out loud in your classroom. I'll give you a few seconds to just try to pronounce it, try to read it out loud. Just go ahead. Just try to work with your mouth, with the muscle in your mouth. Just try to feel the Russian sound. Да, дом, вода и радио. Да, дом, вода, radio. Have you noticed that all these words contain the letter D? Now let's take a look at some words that contain letter U. U. So let's take a look at that. Student. Student. One more time. Student. And what does that mean? A student. 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 But please remember that students means in Russian a college student, university or high college, university, high institute, just student. And if you are a lady and studying at university or a college, we called you studentka. 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 Student. Studentka. Student. Studentka. And if you are student or studentka, you must be study at universitet. Yeah, it's a bit long, but it's really easy. Just try to pronounce it. Some part with together. Университет. Университет. Student и студентка. Study at universitet. Universitet or institute. Institute. An institution. Let's do it one more time for you. Institute. An institution. yeah, some word that really near to English word. So let's take a look at this word together on one page. And as always, I will give you a few seconds just to pronounce it with your own, out loud in your classroom. Student, studentka, universitet, institut, student, studentka, universitet, institut. And now picture time. Let's take a look at the few pictures and you will identify everything you see in Russian. So let's start with this. What is this? This is dom. Dom. And whom do we see in that picture? Student. Student. And we also see a female student, so we also see studentka. And this is the place where they study. Universitet. Universitet. Or institut. Institut. Very good. Very, very good. And now again we are picking up our pencil. We will take a look at how we work on this letter on their cursive format. So let's take a look at this. Let's start with letter D. We start from here. Well, D. Let's do it one more time. D. And let's do this nice little short. D. This is the capital letter D. And now let's look how to write the lowercase. Please don't get confused with the English alphabet. This is the lowercase of Russian letter D. Let's do it one more time. D. D. And now let's work with Russian letter U. 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 Let's do it one more time. This is the capital letter U. And the lowercase, just a small version of that. And now, do you remember how Russian people say yes, da? Da, da. And we can write it like this. Da. This is not English letter G. It's not G anymore. It is D. Da. 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 And now, what is the Russian word for house? Dom. Dom, a house. Let's do it one more time. Dom. And when we are thirsty, we drink. Вода. Вода. Let's do it one more time. Let's start with letter V. O, letter D connected with letter A. вода. Вода. And at 90s, it always nice to listen to радио. Radio. 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 And now the U words. Let's start with student. Stu. Connected with letter D. Stud. Ye. Student. 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 Let's do it one more time. Student. Student. And if we would like to turn it to a female student, we just add ka. Studentka. Studentka. Student and studentka. And of course, student и studentka. They do study at университет. Yet. What's a long word? But it's really easy to pronounce. Universitet. Universitet. Let's do it one more time. Universitet. Or they study in an institution. Institut. Institut. Let's do it one more time. Start with letter E, connected with letter N, letter S, T, letter E, tut. Institut. Student и студентка study at university. In университет. Хорошо. Очень хорошо. So our next letter is L. L. It always gives a sound of L. 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 And this letter maybe look familiar. It is Russian letter Z. Z. It always gives a sound of Z. 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 And we need to take a look at this. This is Russian letter A. A. And please have a notice that it gives us the same sound just like Y in English. E. 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 So let's take a look at the word where this letter occurs. So our first word contains letter L is this one. Plan. Plan. If you would like to do anything, you got to start with plan. A plan. 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 And remember to pronounce this letter. It always like A. We always pronounce it like A. Plan. Lan. Plan. And what season we all enjoy most of all? Лето. 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 A summer. Every one of us loves the summer. When the holiday and sun is shining and we can go everywhere, we can just have a good time before we get back to study. And after лето comes fall and then зима. Зима. This letter Z. E M A. Zima. A winter. And русский зима, Russian winter, is completely wonderful. You need to try that. 50 Gradusov minus, baby. And during those all long evening we got to watch телевизор. Телевизор. A television. Let's do it one more time. Телевизор. 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 Just try to pronounce it with me. Телевизор. A television. And now let's take a look at all this word in one page. And as always, I will give you some time to just pronounce it. So go ahead. План. Лето. Зима. Телевизор. План. Лето. Зима. Телевизор. And now, as always, a picture time, so you will identify everything you see in Russian. So, what is this? Телевизор. Телевизор. And what's the name of this cold season? Zima. Zima. And what is this? Лето. Лето. Хорошо. So there are 3 more words we need to learn today. So this is our first one. Мой. 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 Look at this letter. E. It gives a sound of Y. Мой. Мой means my. My. Мой. And the same letter in the end of this word, it comes with another word, which is русский. Русский, which means Russian. Русский. That is the name of language that we study together. Русский. Язык. Russian language. Русский. Русский. And of course, every Russian person, every русский enjoy riding a тройка. 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 A carriage pulled by 3 horses. That's a great activity during Zima. So let's take a look at all this word in one page. Let's start with the first one. Мой. Русский. Тройка. Let's do it one more time. Мой. Русский. Тройка. And now let's go to the cursive format to see how to write these words. So let's start with letter Z. Z. It's really nice. Z. Let's do it one more time. Z. And the lowercase is just a small version of that. Z. Z. And letter L. We start from here. We go up. We need to point the top and going down to this nice little hug. Letter L. Let's do it one more time. Going up, then going down. L. L. And the lowercase is just a small version of that. One more time. L. And now letter E. Just like the letter E, but we just put this nice little cap on top of it. Don't forget it. It always comes with this nice little cap. Let's do it one more time. E. E. And the lowercase is just a small version of that. E. E. And now the word. Let's start with my. Moj. 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 Let's do it one more time. Let's start with letter M, connected with letter O, and we're ending with letter E. Moj. Moj. And what is the name of Russian language? Русский. Ru, letter U, S, S, letter K, E, then E. Русский. Русский. Let's do it one more time, a little bit fast. Русский. As much as you just practice, and it's going to be really easy for you to just write it very fast. And of course our favorite season is лето. Let's do it one more time. Start with letter L, then letter Y, connected with letter T, and we end with letter O. Лето. Лето. Let's do it one more time. Лето. And after лето comes fall, then зима. Зима. Start with letter Z, E, M, A. Zima. Let's do it one more time. Zima. And of course during Zima, long night, we usually watching E, T, Le, V, Zar. Televisor. So we start with capital letter T, so we can start with just a lowercase here. So let's do it one more time with a lowercase. T, Le, V, Zar. It was really nice to write it. And finally, we need to make a good plan for everything. So let's start with letter P, La, plan. Plan. Let's do it one more time. Plan. Plan. Well, it may not be easy right now, but believe me, as you practice, as you spend more and more time working on the cursive format and Russian letter and the Russian word, it will be easy for you. Just keep working with that. So we will take a look at a few pictures, and I want you to identify everything you see in Russian. But before that, I will ask you a one question with every single picture. My question is что это? Which means what is that? Что это? Что what? Это that? Что это? What is that? And when you respond, please refer to every single picture with это. This is. Это means this is. So I'm gonna ask you что это? And your response shall begin with это. Что это? Это? Что это? Это? Это телевизор, это Москва, это мама, это кот. Or you can say это мой кот. Мой. That's the way you say my in Russia. Мой. So let's take a look at this picture. Что это? Это Москва. Это Москва. А что это? And what is this? Это университет. Университет. And this one? Что это? Это ресторан. Это ресторан. And this season? Что это? Это лето. Это лето. А это что? Что это? Это зима. Это зима. A winter. And now I need you to just keep working on this letter and these words. So believe me, as much as you just make some efforts and spend some times to just write this word and this letter, you're going to be very, very good in Russian. Now I think you just get some point with Russian. Just keep proceeding, keep working, and very, very soon you're gonna be able to read and write in Russian. And even you can just start a conversation with a Russian person. Thank you, and I see you next time. До свидания.